My crypto portfolio would be worth over $70,000 if I hadn't have sold it. Okay, let's start at the beginning. I started investing in Bitcoin in 2017 when the cost of a Bitcoin was only $3,772. Now that is what I call cheap. Okay, but that's still not the beginning. So let's go way back to the beginning where it all started. So how does Bitcoin work? Well, let me start with what is Bitcoin. Created in 2009, Bitcoin is a digital currency introduced as an open source software by an unknown person or persons that go by the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, I know all of that was irrelevant, but we're going to continue anyway. The truth is, no one really knows who created Bitcoin. There's speculations and theories of who it was and who it is, and some people say it's Elon Musk. No one knows who it could be or if it's an entire group of people. But again, that doesn't really matter. Bitcoins are minted by a process called mining, in which specialized computer hardware complete really complicated mathematical equations and are then rewarded with Bitcoin. The current reward is 6.25 Bitcoin, and the block reward that one gets is halved every 4 years, or around every 4 years. By 2140, there will be 21 million Bitcoins, and that will be it. That's how many Bitcoins are going to be, mined, and that's done. Bitcoin's over. Well, it's not really over, but you know what I mean. No more Bitcoin will be added. The question is, will people continue to mine Bitcoin if it's halved every 4 years and the reward becomes so small compared to the price of Bitcoin? A lot of people say that the mining will stop well before we reach 21 million, just because miners won't feel it's worth it to continue mining Bitcoin, if that makes any sense. Again, not important. Let's just move on. Bitcoin uses cryptography or mathematical equations to control the creation and transfer of money, rather than relying on financial institutions to act as an intermediary to the transactions. There is so much information about Bitcoin, cryptography, the blockchain, the cost of production, and all of that. And during my intense research, I was getting quite a migraine, so I thought I would just leave it with that, and rather than make this an in-depth video about what Bitcoin is and how it works, I would just get to the juicy content of how much I invested and how much I made and how you can do the same. However, if you do want to see that super complicated, headache-inducing video, then let me know in the comments down below and I'll try my best. Maybe I'll even interview an expert on the matter, who knows, but I'll try my best to bring that to you. I also just want to quickly point out, I by no means am an expert in Bitcoin or cryptocurrency of any sort. I'm a YouTuber, business owner, entrepreneur who runs a few businesses and likes to make helpful YouTube videos. So again, please note I am not a cryptocurrency expert. So onto the juicy stuff. I invested in 3 coins. I invested in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Litecoin was introduced in 2011 by someone that goes by the name Charlie Lee. He debuted it as the light version of Bitcoin. Their intention is to be like the silver to Bitcoin's gold. The next one is Ethereum, which is the second largest cryptocurrency. It currently has a market cap of around 200 billion, which is insane. But I guess when you compare it to Bitcoin, it's actually not so insane because Bitcoin's nearer the 1 trillion mark. Again, there is tons more info about Litecoin and Ethereum that I could go into, but I didn't want to make this video about that. So we're going to move on from what it is. So let's cover how to invest. I use an app called Coinbase. And it's super easy. Once signing up, it's as simple as picking up the cryptocurrency that you want, clicking trade, and buying a certain amount. You'll need to link a bank account and a card. You'll also need to verify, which you can do with a photo ID and a phone number. By verifying, it allows you to increase your buying limits. It's also quite straightforward, and if you use the link below, you'll get $10 in Bitcoin when you sign up and make a transaction. Of course, you have to be incredibly careful when it comes to investing. And personally, my strategy is I invest for the long term, and that way I'm kind of reducing that risk of the fluctuations that cryptocurrency tend to have of going up and down in such short bursts. If I'm investing in the long term, I don't really care about those very small short-term fluctuations. So I like to keep it for a while, and as it goes up, I like to sell in very, very small amounts just so I'm taking out some profit. And as it goes down, I like to buy in very small amounts so that I'm slowly getting back into the game as it's going down. I personally feel this is much better than buying huge lump sums in one go. If it goes down a bit, buy another 500. If it goes down a bit, buy another 500. If it goes up a bit, I'll sell a bit, that kind of thing. But overall, my portfolio is for the long run, or it was for the long run until I sold it, and we're going to get to that in a minute. So onto the numbers. Over the past 3 years, I have ended up buying 0.9 Bitcoin, which today would be worth $42,282.90. As well as that, I have also bought 138.7 Litecoin, which today would be worth $24,553.82. And as well as that, I've bought 1.8 Ethereum, which today would be worth $3,170.60. So a total of $70,008.32. However, I did not keep all of that cryptocurrency to this day. In fact, I sold out as I went, and yeah, I did not make that much money. I did not even make close to that amount of money. I ended up with a total of $24,382.72 after a cost of $15,369.92, which leaves me with a total profit of $9,010.80. Which I guess for someone who had absolutely no clue what he was doing, he was just buying what he thought was at the right time to come out with $9,000 in profit. I'm happy with that because I could have easily lost all my money and more. So, because at the end of the day, if you have no idea what you're doing, you're kind of gambling, it's a risk. So I'm just happy I made some money throughout the process. One thing I've learned from this whole process is you cannot regret decisions that you make. You have got to live with your actions, otherwise it's going to be a very sad, sad life. Hindsight is a wonderful thing when it comes to trading. So yes, technically I lost out on a fair bit of money, like nearly 50 grand's worth of money, but I still made money not knowing what I was doing, and I'm happy with that. And I'll learn from that in the future to hold my position for much longer rather than take out when I think it's a good time to take out. I'll hold it for the long term because I am a true believer that Bitcoin will go way, way up, 100, maybe even $500,000 per Bitcoin. So my plan moving forward is to start investing in these three coins again. At the moment, they are crazily overpriced, especially as cost of production is so, so low compared to how much a Bitcoin is actually selling for. However, I may still invest just little bits as it goes down or up, just because I'm a true believer, as I said, in that the price will go way up. Maybe, it could easily hit 500,000. There are so many people talking about it happening. It could be a bubble at the moment and it could shoot back down. But overall, in the long term, it could go up. So am I worried about investing now at the current price? No. And the reason for that is because if I'm holding for the long term, I don't really care if I invest now when it's at whatever, $45,000. Even if it goes all the way down to $20,000, I still won't be upset that I invested now because my aim would be to hold it for such a long time that I would still sell that $40,000 investment for more down the line. I would never buy now and then if it just tanks, sell it to get out. That's a massive, massive mistake. I would just wait for it to go back up. But that is just me. I highly recommend doing research into Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, whatever cryptocurrency you want before investing. Don't just listen to a single YouTuber or multiple YouTubers. Do your own research so you know what you're getting into. And I always like to say, make sure that the money you're investing into cryptocurrency or even stocks and shares is throwaway money. Don't invest money that you need to survive with, because in that case what you'll end up doing is having to sell it and take it out and probably losing money. If you want to invest for the long term, for years and years, you want to be investing money that you don't really need. And again, if you do want to invest and use Coinbase like I use, the link is in the description. You'll get $10 when you buy your first amount of Bitcoin, and I think we both get, we'll find out and see. Thank you so much for watching. This could have ended up being a much more overcomplicated video with a lot of headaches and migraines, but like I said, I didn't want to do that unless that's something you want to see, in which case let me know in the comments and I'll try my best to bring you the most detailed video about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin in particular, as I possibly can. But quite frankly, I'm still wrapping my head around all this information, which is why I love making these videos, because making a video about Bitcoin, I learned so much about Bitcoin, which is actually really valuable in the long run. So if you want to see that video, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.